Hey everyone, it's Andrea from the REACH, and thanks for joining us for virtual Little Explorers. Today's Little Explorers is all about owls. And so I'll introduce you to my friend. This is Sharp Owl. Sharp Owl is a great horned owl. And a great horned owl is a pretty classic example of owls. She lives in the trees, she nests in trees, she sleeps during the day, and she hunts at night. And a lot of owls do this. The owl you're going to learn about today, however, is a little bit different. Before we hear our story today, we're going to go over the sign for owls. So if you take your hands and you make them into balls, if you take your fingertips and touch them to your thumbs and put those right over your eyes like binoculars and then wiggle them back and forth. Okay, let's try it all together. Ready? Owls. Awesome. So stick around, listen, and watch our feltboard story called Bee Owl. And then afterwards, I will teach you some more about the very unique owl that you're going to meet. All right, see you soon. Bee Owl. It is just after dawn in the shrub steppe. The sun has just risen and the sky is getting lighter. Down by the river, Great Horned Owl is in her favorite old tree, about to go to sleep. Because Great Horned Owls stay up all night and sleep during the day. She calls out, as Great Horned Owls do, to see if any of her friends are still up. Hoo, 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 hoo. Who's awake? Me too. But none of her friends reply. Down below, in the shrub steppe, a curious little owl looks up at her, opens her eyes, and says, "Good morning." Great Horned Owl looks at the little owl and notices she is standing next to a hole in the rocky ground. There's a sign next to the hole, and it says, Bee Owl. Great Horned Owl says, "Good morning. Shouldn't you be asleep by now, little baby owl? Where's your mama?" "I am not a baby," says Bee Owl. "I am fully grown and about to become a mama myself. Today I will lay my first egg, and I'm not going to sleep now. I just woke up." Great Horned Owl thought to herself, "This little owl is very strange. What kind of owl sleeps at night and stays up all day? And why is she so small? I guess the bee does not stand for baby owl." Just then, a darkling beetle scurried past. "Excuse me," said Bee Owl. "There's my breakfast." She picked up the beetle in her beak and ate it. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Maybe the bee stands for beetle-eating owl, thought Great Horned Owl. Bee Owl gave a little burp. "Excuse me again," she said. "Or maybe it stands for burping owl," thought Great Horned Owl. "If you don't mind my asking," said Great Horned Owl, "where are you going to put your nest? There aren't many old trees with holes around here in the shrub steppe." "I have a great spot for a nest right here in this hole," said Bee. "Oh, be careful," warned Great Horned Owl. "Badger made that hole in the ground with his long claws, and he won't be happy to find you in it." "Don't worry," said Bee. "I know that Badger already moved to the other side of the mountain and dug a new hole there. He won't be back." "Wow," said Great Horned Owl. you sure are a brave little owl. Does the B stand for brave? No, said Bee Owl. The B is for the place where I make my nest. Do you know what the B stands for? It's not baby or beetle eating or burping or brave. A hole in the ground made by an animal is called a burrow. The B is for burrowing owl. The end. Hey folks, hope you liked our Bee Owl story. Now, Sharp Owl is going to go away so that you can learn a few more interesting factoids about our friend, the burrowing owl. You ready? Let's start by looking at a field guide. So this is a field guide. It has all different kinds of birds in it. But we are going to open to the page on burrowing owls. There it is. When you look at this page, notice one big thing is that the burrowing owl's legs are a lot longer than other owls. Any idea why? I'll tell you why. They're longer because the burrowing owl lives and hunts from the ground. So the little bit taller legs that they have help them see a little bit better on the ground. These other owls, they sit in trees and look down and around. They don't need tall legs to lift them up so that they can see better. These burrowing owls, they have these skinny tall legs so that they can see a little bit better on the ground. The other thing I'll show you is how big they are. So this field guide has some information here. It tells us the length of a burrowing owl is 9.5 inches. And that looks like this. This is how big a burrowing owl is. So it's not the smallest owl, actually. The smallest owl is going to be more like 6 inches. That's a pretty small owl. Burrowing owls are 9.5 inches, but if you compare it to a great horned owl, another owl, great horned owl is going to be about that tall, 22 inches tall. So burrowing owl, not the smallest, but a pretty small owl. Now, before we move on to our underground craft today, I will play a song for you. And this is from this book. It's called Bird Songs, and it's awesome. You can push the button to find what every bird sounds like. So we're going to find through this book a burrowing owl, which I know is number 188. I'm going to play the song for you. And this song is the male burrowing owl's song. Would you like to hear it one more time? Okay, that's about it for burrowing owls. One thing to remember, even though the burrowing owl is called a burrowing owl, it doesn't dig its own holes. It's not a burrower, it's not a digger, but it does use holes dug by other animals. So that's a good thing to remember when we think about burrowing and underground creatures. All right, are you ready for a craft? Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Today's craft is all about the underground, and so we're going to feature the letter U. And this is a great craft because it should be relatively easy to do with items you have on hand. I'm going to show you some of the things you might want to have, and that is some scissors, some glue, a pen, pen or a pencil. Any kind of paper that you have laying around, that could be cardstock, it could be printer paper, it could be scrap paper, any kind of paper. And then it might be nice to have some magazines that you can search and cut out of. So, what's the craft? It's all about the letter U, and the word underground starts with U. And we are thinking about the types of animals that live underground. So the first thing you'll need a light colored piece of paper. And all you're going to do on that light colored piece of paper is you're going to draw a big U. And I mean big, like almost the whole piece of paper. Okay. And then you're going to make a smaller U inside the big U. And you've just made a burrow. This is an underground burrow. So now you take your scissors and you cut the U out of your light colored paper, and I'll show you what to do with it. Okay. Here's my burrow. Here's my underground U-shaped burrow. You're going to paste your white or light colored U onto a darker piece of paper. And if you don't have dark paper, you can just use crayons to color. And then you get to search through old magazines and old picture books and whatever, and find pictures of some creatures that you think might live underground. Okay, so I chose a marmot, which is a big ground squirrel. I chose a star-nosed mole, and a worm, and then because I wasn't finding any insects, I drew a picture of an ant. Okay, so I cut those all out, pasted them into my underground burrow, and that's it. If you want to, you can add a sky. I didn't have any blue, so I chose purple. And then, if you want to get some more fine motor skills, you can cut some strips of green paper out, and then have your student just take scissors and make fringe along the top. And that's some good fine motor practice. So, U for underground. There's lots of animals around here that live underground, and I hope you find and think of some good ones, and I hope you have fun making this craft. Thanks everybody. Have an excellent day.